So welcome one and all to our presentation today from Your Blissful Journey. The beginning of this call, I'm going to start with talking about the Alchemy of Healing membership, because that's actually what has precipitated this kind of format for all of us to learn different modalities of healing. From my journey, I understand that certain things work at certain times, certain techniques or modalities will come and go in my life. And so I wanted to have a place where if you felt like you needed a resource, what's next, what's out there, so that you could not, without committing to a lot of time or money, you could learn about several different modalities and find the ones that resonated with you. So that is why I have created this. And if you're interested in something like that, please do go to yourblissfuljourney.com/membership. And I'm not a doctor. I have to do our disclaimers. None of the people that I have, unless I say they're a doctor, we don't diagnose. I will never diagnose for you. You're the only one who can make decisions for you. You have free will, or either accept or reject what is shared with you. You get to decide. And today we are welcoming Judith Quin, 1N, to the show. And Judith, I'm going to invite you to take it away as I stop share.
Yay.
Thank you. So Judith.
And have you given me co-hosting?
Oh.
Yes, you have. Lovely. So thank you so much, first of all, Sally, for having me here. And for those of you who are here live, for giving up your time to be here. And for those of you who are watching this on a replay, wherever that may be, then thank you for giving up your time to focus on finding your voice. So my company is Your Whole Voice. And it is that name for several reasons. And the reasons behind it are many and multiple, which we don't have time to go into, but it's your whole voice. So this is you. It's not about me. It's about you. It is your whole voice. It is the you that you want to share with the world as the whole of who you are. So often, particularly when we are in speaking situations, we show up as who we think other people want us to be in that moment. So this is about you finding your voice, not about me creating 100 million mini-me's, because that would be horrible. Lots of people I know would be like, oh my God, no, one Judith is more than enough, thanks. It's about you finding your voice, and it's about stepping into your whole voice, which is the whole of who you are as a person. And I am just going to share this now so that you have that information. So there we go. This is me. This is my company. This is how you can find me on social media. Most things are at Your Whole Voice. And if you want to connect with me, then that is why I use the word connect at yourwholevoice.com. So feel free to get in touch. And I am all about the holistic whole person that you are, very much in alignment with Sally and her approach to looking at who you are beyond and above the way you represent yourself, beyond and above the way your body sometimes represents you, and definitely beyond and above the way we think other people expect us to be. And your voice is a part of the whole of you. It's really important that we take those situations that maybe we are not comfortable speaking in and ask ourselves why. And like Sally said, I am not a doctor, I am not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or even a psychotherapist. But a lot of the work that I do works with the beliefs you have about yourself that you hold in your subconscious brain, but also in the cell memory of your body. And so I would just like to ask those of you who are here live, you get the extra bonus of me being able to hone and tailor this to your challenges. So just if you just put in the chat box, if you can, like, what are the situations that you least like expressing yourself in? So first of all, before I do this, I want you to know I have a strong premise in my business that all speaking is public speaking. When people talk about public speaking, we think, oh, giving a presentation or standing on stage, or these days appearing in a Zoom room. But I strongly believe that every time you take a thought, idea, feeling, belief, or opinion that you carry inside you and share it, whether that is with one person or whether that's with 10 or 100 or 1,000, and whether you know that person or whether they're a stranger, if you're sharing that inner thought, idea, feeling, opinion, belief, you are making it public. So all speaking is public speaking. And therefore, all speaking situations have the possibility of knocking you sideways and giving you those fears that we relate to public speaking. So the nerves and the uncertainty and the imposter syndrome. So I know Sally wants to jump in here. So I will let Sally jump in and then I will carry on.
But I just wanted to ask you a comment, Judith, because I'm listening to your voice and I was hearing my voice at the beginning of my talking, and I was like kind of up here. And I was noticing, I wasn't as centered and grounded as I want to be. But when you listen to how Judith is speaking and you listen to how I was speaking earlier, where our voices are even centered in our body, how confident do you feel listening to Judith? I'm noticing, wow, I am feeling a little more grounded hearing you. It is so her presence, your presence, all of you, when you're centered in grounding, affects everybody around you. And I love your comment about all speaking is public speaking.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Go right ahead. I apologize. I just had to share.
No, that's lovely. And thank you. And it's a big part of, so where your voice is a big part of the energy that your audience hears. And we'll come to that in a little bit. So just so that I know how I can adapt this talk to best suit those of you who are here live, I'd just like you to write in the chat, what is the situation that you find expressing yourself most challenging? So that might be public speaking, it might be speaking to camera, it might be raising your hand in a team meeting if you work in a company, or it may be speaking about yourself or your business with confidence if you work for yourself. It could be having challenging conversations. So just have a little think and just write in the chat box, what is the situation that you like least? So the one that makes you go, oh, if I could avoid that and never have to do that ever again in my life, that would be lovely. Thank you very much. So it's different for everyone, because having the confidence to express yourself relies on several different elements, and we'll come to that in just a minute. So Kyoko, I see you tapping away there. Thank you. Nikki and whoever else is on their phone, if you are able to, obviously, if you're doing something else with your hands, then please don't worry about it. It's just helpful for me to know. And while you're having a think about that, I'm just going to share the next element of where I come from with you, and that is this. So I do a lot of talks for a group called Toastmasters. You may or may not have heard them. They're an international group which help people with public speaking, and they love a dictionary definition. So here is my dictionary definition that I use for them. Confidence is a feeling of self-assurance arising from an appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. And this is really key, because It's an appreciation of your own abilities or qualities. Remember, my company is your whole voice. It's your whole voice. It's the whole of who you are, the whole of what you bring. So the abilities and qualities that you bring to the room. And the picture I've got there isn't just the obligatory cute PowerPoint kitten picture. Right? It's there because sometimes we think that confidence is something that only like strong, powerful people have, right? We might think that, oh yes, the tiger is confident, but the kitten probably less so. But it's also a reflection of that feeling of self-assurance. So if you're a kitten, but you might have tiger confidence about your kittenness, right? And if you're a tiger, you're a tiger, but you might have imposter syndrome about it and feel like, oh, who am I to be a tiger? Because I just feel like a kitten inside. So allow yourself to be who you are and to have that self-assurance in the qualities and abilities that you bring to the room, but also, and this is the challenge with speaking in all situations, it's the ability to adapt and call on those qualities that maybe you need a little bit more of sometimes, or to be able to call on the qualities that you know your audience are going to resonate with more. So this is a big part of confidence. And confidence is also situational. It's situational and it's subjective. There's not one thing that says, this is a confident person. Remember, we have the phrase quietly confident within our language. So confidence isn't just all about, how I come across, which is big and bold and upfront. That's a very obvious confidence. Sometimes people can come across like that and they're verging on arrogance. And that's a fear that I work with a lot of people. Don't worry, Nikki, about not being able to type. That's fine. And I will come to you in just a second so that you can share yours, Nikki. So having that fear of appearing arrogant is what stops a lot of my clients. I work with a lot of perpetual people pleasers, sensitive souls who like to make sure that everyone else around them feels comfortable. And one of their big fears is very often, but I don't want to appear arrogant. And that confidence arrogance thing can be a fine line. So allow yourself, if you're a quietly confident person, allow yourself to have that quiet confidence. It's okay. So this is a great spot for me to say, Nikki, if you wanted to share your situation that you are less confident speaking in, then that's great.
I find it interesting that I'm very capable and confident in certain areas of my life, and I'm arrogantly a good leader.
Not arrogant. Say it with pride, right? That's one of your qualities. I'm a good leader. I want you to say that for me again, Nikki. But before you say it, I just want you to close your eyes and really feel, when you're in those situations where you know that you are leading people really well. I don't know what you do, but let's say that's in a workshop or something, or in a group. And I want you to really feel how it feels when you know you've got your people with you and you are leading them. And I want you to think about the feedback you've had from people that helps you know that you're a good leader, and really embody that and let it be in your body, and let yourself sit up tall as you think of it and feel yourself allowing yourself to be that good leader. And then when you're ready, when you're really feeling it in your body, I want you to open your eyes and just say that again.
In certain areas of my life, I am a really good leader.
How does that feel?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's areas that I'm knowledgeable about and qualified in.
Yes.
And in my coaching, I'm qualified and not confident.
Yeah.
So even speaking like this is challenging. And
And thank you.
I find that so interesting because I'm been in the public a lot, but not in my peer public with people who I know and respect, and they know so much more than I do, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, love it. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for that. And that's similar but different to Kyoko's challenge, which is people when she's with people who she doesn't know. So very often we can be with our peers and know that they're our peers, but not really know them. And that gives us double fear. But for some people, being with our peers and, excuse me, coming to the end of a cold, not COVID, don't worry. So sometimes for people, speaking in front of people who we know is more scary. But what I love about what you just did then, Nikki, is really doing that, connecting to the energy of, actually, I am a good leader, because your preposition was what a lot of my clients do, and that was apologize for yourself in your words, in your tone. Right? And we do it joking then, right? I'll arrogantly say I'm a good leader. I was joking. It's okay. I can say it if I'm joking. But to actually stand in it and go, I'm bloody good at what I do. And it's okay to be uncertain in other areas. And that's the power. That's the magic of being able to express yourself. So it's having the confidence in who you are, in what you do, and in why you're doing it. And what is really powerful with the work that I do here is, this is one of the key premises that I want to share with you right now. Your voice is a reflection of every experience or emotion you've ever had, imagined, or witnessed. So I'll just repeat that again because it bears repeating. Your voice is a reflection of every experience or emotion you have ever had, imagined, or witnessed. And when you speak, whatever those emotions are, is what your audience sees and hears. And I actually need to add feels to that, because your voice is vibration. And this is where we come a little bit into the voice vibration sound healing element of the work that I do. So I'm a vocal confidence specialist and communication coach and a voice vibration sound healer. And it's the power of your voice. It's where, as Sally was saying earlier, where when you're speaking, your voice is held. And it's the energy that you bring into the room that people feel, see, and hear. And those experiences that you've had, imagined, or witnessed, they impact us. And the challenge with human beings is, of course, our subconscious brain, our good old amygdala back here, is set to ego force 10, and our ego's job is to protect us. So your subconscious brain, your primeval animal brain, is set out to look for everything that could go wrong to keep you safe. So in those situations where, for Kyoko, I don't know these people, so I don't know how to approach this conversation. I don't know what they might think of me. I'm not sure of whether they're going to be judging me positively or negatively. For Nikki, it's like, oh, I'm in this room full of my peers and they know so much more than me. There's that automatic judgment that we make of other people. I'm in a room of my peers. Well, then they've got things to teach me and I've got things to teach them, because no one knows everything. But your voice will reflect the experiences and the emotions that you have had in your past. And your past can be yesterday. My past could have been, I gave a talk earlier today to a law firm on Stop Suffering in Silence, which is my mental health communication and mental health, speaking up for yourself and speaking about the things that are difficult. And it was a blank Zoom room. Everyone had their videos off. Now, I could have taken that as a really negative experience. It can be like, oh my God, no one wanted to show themselves. No one wanted to, they were all bored. They weren't really there. They were probably working on their computers. And I have no feedback, no little smiles like Kyoko's just given me, right? No interaction. I could have taken that as a really negative experience. Or I could choose to deliver my talk and trust that one person in that room is going to get something useful from what I say. Or I do what I do when everyone's got their videos off, I deliberately make it interactive and ask people to comment, like I did with you earlier. So that experience can be from your past, which can be a couple of hours ago. It could be 3 decades ago. And what our subconscious brain is doing is looking out for the things that are dangerous. So it brings up the horrible experiences. And you don't have to have had them yourself. You might have witnessed something happen to someone. Most of my clients, the challenge with being confident in expressing yourself comes from something that happened at school, usually between the ages of 6 and 14. Very often not related to actually speaking. But you might have witnessed something. You might have witnessed a classmate stand up and say something and get it wrong and the whole room laughing. And so now you're terrified of ever standing up and saying something wrong because you know that equals humiliation. But you've actually forgotten that in your conscious brain. It's just your subconscious brain and your body's cell memory. As soon as you go into a situation that feels similar, goes, no, this is dangerous, just stay quiet. It's much safer to stay quiet because we need to belong to the tribe. And if we say something wrong, we might get kicked out of the tribe. And it's really difficult to kill a woolly mammoth and survive the winter on our own. So shut up, stay quiet, don't speak. Oh God, you're going to speak. Oh, now I go into fight or flight mode. And then when you do speak, your voice reflects that. So either give me some yeses in the chat or some thumbs up or nods if any of these physical things sound familiar to you. So when you're in that speaking situation you don't like, your heart rate starts to increase and you find that maybe you suddenly start speaking much quicker than you normally speak, or maybe you're speaking as you're speaking quicker, then your voice suddenly goes up, or maybe you get really loud, you're suddenly very loud, or suddenly your voice goes really quiet and your brain's working at 500 million miles an hour, and you forget what you're about to say, or maybe worse, your mind goes blank, or your hands start to shake, or your legs start to shake. And I'm seeing some little smiles of recognition coming here.
Mm-hmm.
This is all because your subconscious brain is going, I'm not safe. And it's held there in your cell memory. And this is where your voice is then a reflection of those negative experiences that you've had in your life. But did you see what I did with Nikki? I put her into a state where she was remembering the good stuff. So your voice is also a reflection of the good experiences and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to get control over our subconscious brain and consciously put ourselves in those states so that you can use your voice to its best effect, so that you can speak with confidence, knowing your qualities, your values, who you are, so that you can really have control over those elements that impact you when you're standing up and speaking. And I'm just going to share with you a couple of ways that I work with this, and then open the forum up to any questions that people have, and so that you can really sort of mine me for the information that will be most useful for you. Right? So the 4 B's that affect your speech, here they are. We like a little image for those of you who are visual in the room. It is your brain, your body, your breath, and your vibration. I deliberately choose the word vibration because I'm a little bit weird hippie woo, and also because your voice is vibration. It's made by your vocal cords vibrating against each other. When right now you're hearing my voice, and it's because my words make sound waves that get caught by the microphone and go down the magic of the interweb right? And out of your speakers, and you feel it in your body, and it goes through your ears, and the tiny little hairs and the tiny little bones oscillate and change those physical vibration waves into words. And by the magic of our human brain, you understand what I'm saying. So your voice is literally physically vibration. And we're going to do some exercise on working with that to help bring your voice into different parts of your body so you can feel that. But the energy that you go into the room with is the energy that your audience picks up on before anything else. Your brain impacts your body, right? So your brain says, I'm not safe. So your body has those symptoms that we were just talking about. If you watch 100-meter and 200-meter sprinters, they don't need to breathe when they're running. Right? So when you're in that situation, you then lose breath. And if you have no breath, well, if you have no breath, you're in real trouble. But if you're not breathing clearly and properly, then it's impossible to speak. Right? You're gasping for breath, your throat goes dry. But the joy is that your brain, your body, your breath, and your vibration are all things that you can adjust and adapt consciously, and they impact each other. So if your brain is going 10 to the dozen and you're like, oh, I am not worthy of being in this room, and everyone has more experience than me, and everyone is better than me at what they do, and who am I to be here? If you can't control your brain, then you can change your body and you can go, but I am here. And you can tell your body, like I did with Nikki, I said, sit up tall, own your space. And when we do that, our body tells our brain, actually, I might be safe. Or you can change your breath. And your breath then has an impact on your body. And when your body changes, your brain changes. Or you can think of the situations where you are confident, of the people who have given you confidence, on what you do know. You can connect, most importantly, to your concept of what is bigger than you. So you can connect to a higher purpose, and you can think about that. I have a mission, which is to transform the lives of more than 100 million people by creating more confident, connected communicators. And whenever I am uncertain about speaking, and I still get nervous, I just have tools and techniques that I use. When I spoke to that law firm this morning, I hadn't done that talk for a year. So I used my techniques to bring myself back into the state. So my energy was, hi, I'm Judith Quin, and I know what I'm talking about, and I want to share this with you. So the most important thing is give yourself a higher purpose. And if right now you can't believe in yourself, then believe in the power of whatever it is that you do or whatever it is that you're talking about, and how that positively impacts other people's lives. Because your words make waves, they make physical waves, but they also make ripples in the lives of the people that you're talking to. So make that more important, because there's no such thing as a fear of speaking. When you're afraid to have that challenging conversation with someone that you think is going to be confrontational or create conflict, go in with a higher purpose of, if we solve this, it's going to make X, Y, or Z better. If you hate public speaking, go in with, if I don't share this message, then someone might miss out. Right? And whenever I'm unsure, I have my mission to transform the lives of more than 100 million people by making more confident, connected communicators. I'll be with you in just a second, Sally. I just want to give an example of this. So in February, I was in New Zealand. Remember when we could travel? Oh, those blissful days. So I was in New Zealand and I was staying with a family friend, and she said, so Judith, if you're not acting anymore, what are you doing? What is this vocal confidence stuff? I said, well, it's helping people with public speaking and presentations, but a lot of my work is helping people step into who they really are, so they have the confidence to speak about their business or go for that promotion, or to stop other people from pushing them around in life, or so that they can have the challenging conversations that they've been avoiding. And that's a lot of what I take into businesses and companies. And she said, oh, that sounds interesting. I've got to have a challenging conversation next week. What do you do? Maybe you can help me. And my imposter syndrome went, wah, wah, wah. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Because this woman is the chair of the board of a bank. She's the chair of a couple of boards. She's been CEO of 3 international companies. Like, who am I to tell her how to have a challenging conversation with the CEO of the bank? Higher purpose. You know who I am? I'm the purpose. I am the person who has created the whole voice method specifically to help people have challenging conversations. And I know it works because it's had amazing results with my clients. I just haven't used it with someone who I believe is higher than me in the social strata. So I used all my tools and techniques and I connected to that higher purpose and I said, yes, Sarah, let's do a session. And guess what? Shock, horror, surprise, surprise, it worked. So when you have that higher purpose, your mission, your passion, your someone or something else that's bigger than you, that's bigger than the fear or your uncertainty, it makes it a lot easier. So that is a big part of the brain element. Sally, you wanted to ask something or say something?
No, thank you so much, Judith. That's amazing. And I love the higher purpose. I love your confident, connected communicators. That's amazing. What an awesome goal to have, and a great mission. So you've mentioned something a while back about us judging others, but not in a derogatory way. We were judging them as better than us, which was really an eye-opening way of looking at it. And then also with you using that with Sarah in New Zealand, you were judging her as more at a higher status than you.
Yeah.
You used your mission to bring that out. And many of us are like, we call us like is it the S people or whatever, the golden retrievers. We want to help people. We want to make, everything right for them. And we want to help them. And so if we're thinking that they are judging themselves just the way I may be judging myself, and we're all human, we just want all the same thing. We want to be liked. We want to feel safe, right?
Yeah.
Your work really promotes that sense of camaraderie as well when you're talking about communication and you're communicating on many levels. So I just wanted to pipe in that judgment that you brought up so well, and it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. And the fear of public speaking is the fear of judgment. It's the fear of being judged, the fear of that when you say something, you will get kicked out of the tribe. But we get judged positively all the time too. So people are judging you positively. You guys judged me positively from something Sally put out there. You judged that I was worthy of an hour of your time without knowing me, because you trust Sally. Maybe because this was a topic that was close to your heart, but you judged me. But you judged me positively. And I'd like you to think about that. I judged you positively. I've given up an hour of my time to come and speak to you because I know and trust Sally, and I trust and judge that the people in her group are going to benefit from what I say and take something away that's useful for them. So that fear of judgment, when we hear judgment, we always go to the negative side. But remember, a judge always judges for or against. And we always forget the for, because the subconscious brain is going, but what if I'm not safe? So that's how you can work with your brain. You've seen how you can work with your body. Allow yourself to stand up tall. Breath and vibration, these are key. And this is what I really want to play with you with. So I'm going to ask you to, again, close your eyes and imagine that speaking situation, whatever it is that you really don't like, right? And imagine that you're about to deliver it. So for Kyoko, it's a room full of people who she doesn't know. And if you hate speaking to camera, or if you don't like being on screen, let's up that and go, it's a room full of people who you don't know on a Zoom room, or a Facebook Live. Nikki, it's a room full of your peers who you've got to do a Facebook Live to. I don't know if you're happy doing video or not, whatever it is. And I want you to start feeling what you're feeling. I want you to really put yourself in that situation and start feeling how you physically feel the nerves. What's happening to your body? Can you feel your heart rate increasing? Can you feel that, the tightness? And now I just want you to breathe. So breathe out through your mouth and breathe in through your nose. And really let that be full, and breathe out and breathe in your own time, but nice and slowly and nicely full. And that inhalation, I want you to just change something with the inhalation. Hopefully with the slow breathing, you're already feeling a physical response. That you're slowing down, your heart rate's slowing down, the adrenaline is not being pumped so quickly through your body. Now I want you to change it up. And just with the inhalation, I want you to imagine your favorite smell. Yeah, look at the smiles that are automatically coming on faces. Right, so that inhalation, keep it nice and long and deep, but now you're inhaling your favorite smell. And feel how that automatically puts you into a completely different state. Lovely. And now I want you to change the exhalation. And I want you to just place your hand, if you can, on your chest. And just change the exhalation into a hum. Any note, any tone, doesn't matter where. Wherever's comfy for you. And just feel wherever you're feeling that hum. So it might be in your face, in your nose, in your lips, or your jaw. It might be in your chest. It might be in your at the bottom of your neck. Just feel where you're feeling that hum. And now I just want you to play with that hum, play up and down on the tone, and feel, hopefully you'll start feeling that your voice is physically vibration. Your hum is just your voice held in your body. So feel that vibration. I want you to play with the hum, play up and down, and feel how the vibration moves physically from your chest. Where the lower notes is where your chest vibrates stronger, and the higher notes, you might feel it in your lips or your nose or your jaw. If you're having a challenge with playing with the sound, then just hum on a siren. And just play. And as you go higher, so you open up the lower notes. And as you go lower, so you physically open up the higher notes. See if you can get your lips tingling and tickling. And then you'll find that, and then bring it back down. And as you bring the siren back down into your heart, I just want you to drop your jaw open wide. So you start on the hum, and then open your mouth. Lovely. And by opening your mouth, I now want you to open it nice and wide. So it's almost like you're a child pretending to go to the dentist. So unless you've got a jaw issue, I should be seeing lots of big, wide open mouths. Lovely. And then just come back and hum. And then come back into breath and drop your hands and breathe. And I want you to feel how you can still hear the sound in the silence, and how you can feel the vibration in the stillness. And do a lovely inhalation on that lovely favorite smell. And now I want you to do an inhalation on a smell that's zingy and fresh and that wakes you up. It might be oranges or lemons or fresh grass or whatever it is. And open your eyes and come back into the room. So you see, your voice is vibration. It's physically vibration, but also those vibrations, they help you open up and release the energy of the memories that are held and stuck both in your subconscious brain, but more importantly, or just as importantly, the memory emotions that are stuck in your physical body. So you may have found places that were difficult for you to hum. And if we did a full session, I would take you through the different energy centers, the chakras of the body, where they hold different emotions, and encourage you to do the hum, but also open into the loud. You may have found it harder to open your mouth and to hear your voice. So when we have those challenges, or whether the tone jumps in tone, that's where we know that there's an energetic or emotional challenge or block that we need to release. And by repeating the sound, we start physically changing the vibration of our body, which helps our body to let go of the energy of the emotions that have been trapped there. And this is the work, and this is the deep work I do. So this is the voice vibration sound healing, the stepping into who you really are by letting go of who you feel you've had to be in the past, and whatever that is for you, family, school, friends, colleagues, all those labels that people have put on you, the situations that you're holding in your cell memory that you don't even know, that are actually stopping you from being the whole of who you are, from shining brightly as the person who will go out and say, I'm a really good leader, without apology, in tone or words, who will say, I am quietly confident, and I don't need to speak loudly, but I am going to speak with certainty and assuredness. Or if, like me, you are a little bit loud and a little bit big, you're going to go, you know what? Sometimes I'm a little bit big and a little bit loud, and I'm a swearer, and I've done very well with Americans in the room to swear less than I normally do. Because having lived in America, I know that it is something that's generally frowned upon. So I don't want to alienate my audience, right? So you start to learn how to adapt, keeping a whole sense of who you are, but being able to adapt to your audience. I know that my bigness and my loudness can be a bit much for most of my normal clients, most of my ideal clients, who are the more sensitive, the people pleasers, the Labradors, who tend to be fun people and lovely, loving people, but also a little bit like, oh, have I done the right thing? Have I said the right thing? I'm going to make sure, well, I'll stay a little bit quiet until I suss it out. And then I might bound up to you like the friendly Labrador, but I might just suss things out first. And I know that a lot of the people who I speak to, if I bold in with my blunt, upfront, fuck you, fuck off, Judith, it's a bit much. But it doesn't stop me being who I am when I adapt. So you can do that too when you are fully comfortable and back and whole with the whole of who you are, and knowing the whole of your voice. Because there's a part of me that is actually, I just want to curl up and be quiet and little and not big and bold. And I just want to give you lots of love and support. And there's a part of me that does barefoot yoga on the lawn and hugs trees and has a massive crystal collection. And there's a part of me that's a big Formula One fan and loves heavy metal. And I'm in 4 AC/DC videos, and I love Metallica, and I eat meat. So when you know the whole of you, and you're not afraid to express that, and you know which bits of you fit where, then you will have the confidence to share your voice with courage, with your conviction, in your way, so that you're sending out your ripples of influence around the world, and you're then changing lives. So I invite and implore you to start recognizing where you want to release the challenges that have been holding you back, to start inviting yourself to go, actually, I know that I've got a problem here. I know that I am challenged by these situations or these type of people, or I know I need to look at my my heart center, because I know that I'm holding blame for something that I feel someone else did to me or was done to me, or I am blaming a situation. Like it's very easy for us all right now. We can all blame COVID, right, for our lives going tits up. But while we're holding blame for others or for another situation, it's really hard to come to compassion and to hold that shiny brightness of yourself. And while we are holding guilt or blaming ourselves, it's really hard to come to compassion. So we also need to learn how to let go of guilt. And that's just one of that's the heart chakra, the heart area. When you work on each of the energy centers, they all have their own energies. In fact, I've got somewhere here, let me see. Yes. Let me share this with you. So this is my chakra energy connection that I use in the sound healing work, and the basic sounds that we use. So these are the sounds on the right hand side that we repeat, and then what we connect to through the center there and the different areas. So you can see, you know, if you've got root chakra problems around safety, security, stability, strength, that's very often masculine problems, right? Because that's the traditional male role model, is to give the safety and security. It's very often money challenges. It's very often, then we move up to the sacral. So the root and the sacral are both to do with sex, sexual challenges, guilt, shame experiences. Me, it's just all a delight, quite frankly, that part of life, as and when you get it. But it's what are you holding on to in the different energy centers? And when it comes to speaking, right, the throat, people often come and say, oh, I've got a throat chakra problem. My throat gets tight when I talk. And very often, actually, it's not the throat chakra. So the throat is the first line of defense for anything physical. So, for example, when I was getting my cold last week, I knew I was going to get a cold because my throat started going tingle, tingle, tingle. And I was like, so it's the first line of defense for physical symptoms. The throat is often the last line of defense for emotional problems. So you might have released something from your heart and you're like, oh, I want to tell that person I forgive them. And you go to say it and your throat tightens. And it's like, no, I can't share it. I can't say that, because if I forgive them, then what am I letting go of? I'm letting go of everything that I knew to be true for 25 years, 30 years, 10 minutes, whatever it is. I'm letting go of my truth. If I forgive them, then I was wrong. So your throat chakra is actually about truth, and the truth that is your real deep truth, which very often we hide from ourselves. So my truest truth that I didn't know was I wanted to be wanted by my dad. My truth that I lived my life, well, when I was a teenager, it was I hate my dad. And then in my 20s, it was like, nah, I'm indifferent to my dad. In my early 30s, it was, well, actually, you know what? I don't know what he went through. So I came to compassion for him. I don't know what he went through that made him incapable of staying faithful to my mum and causing so much pain in our household. But I don't know what he went through. So I'll come to compassion for him, right? So I went through all those layers. It wasn't until I got to my deepest truth, when I went to my darkest place, that I realized, oh, the truth I haven't been admitting is I want to be wanted by my dad. When I came to that truth, everything freed up. So very often your throat chakra, it's hiding something from underneath, from somewhere else. So it's about communication, but it's also your truth. And it's okay to be at whatever truth you're at. If your truth right now is, I'm scared to speak in front of people, that's okay. Because there's a reality in that. Right? I don't like this speaking situation. That is your truth for now. But then we look at what's under it. And we go, it's because of this. And then suddenly we change that truth. And so it's easier to speak and to share your voice. So I encourage you to play, explore, change that mindset, have something in your brain that is bigger than the fears around where you're expressing yourself. Come into your body, start owning your space in your body when you're speaking. Breathe always and check in with your vibration. So know, what state am I in before you go and have that conversation or deliver that talk? Am I in the right state? So 10 minutes before I did the talk that I was a little bit nervous about earlier, I did my exercises. I was like, right. Breathe, ground. Why am I doing this? Oh, yes. Because I know that this talk has saved one life, at least. And I know it has changed lives of other people. And it's not about me, it's about them. Take the spotlight off you. So know what, but it's really important to know what energy you're in. Do I need more energy? Am I feeling a bit lethargic? Do I need to jump up and down or put my favorite song on and dance so that I build energy? Or am I a little bit hyperactive? And do I need to become more grounded and calmer before I go into this situation? So know your vibration, your brain, your body, your breath, your vibration, connected to the whole of who you are. Because when you liberate your true whole voice, then you have the opportunity to liberate your true whole self throughout the whole of your life. And then you start liberating other people's lives too. And that's just marvelous. So why wouldn't you? So that's a little bit of what I have to share with you. Are there any questions? Either unmute yourself or type them, whatever it is you want to do.
While everybody is getting that together, Judith, I want to thank you so much for sharing that. And the playing with the vibration is so cool. And the chart that you have is amazing. I took a class of yours. It was online class, everybody. It was easy to get. Judith had so much information in it. She had so much support through it. And yet it was all recorded. So I could listen at my own pace. I had worksheets to do at my own pace. It was really a very supportive class. And I don't know, Judith, if you have that link. Or if
I can get it.
If you wouldn't mind, that would be awesome, just as a resource. And I can post it, if you can't find it easily, I'll post it underneath this recording for everybody that's going to get it. And also, if I have to thank you, it's connecting with the energy of you. There's only one you.
There is.
And you're here for a reason. And if you don't speak out, nobody's going to know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what a waste. So how did I love? Who did I serve? And, how am I going to be remembered? I think those are some things that are at my stage are important to me.
Yay.
And I saw it. Let's see.
There you go.
Thank you, Judith, for
it was really wonderful. Thank you so much.
You.
Yeah, I just felt very different when just doing that exercise, just the vibration when I'm talking higher, there's nothing, and then come down, and it's very interesting. It's very physical, and
that's the joy of it. It's a physical, practical process. So, for example, Sally was saying earlier about my voice being in a different space. If you're going to talk, do the humming and find that heart space, because then you'll have warmed up and you'll have opened up this space physically. Right? It's one of my acting warm-up exercises, right? And it works really well for just getting your voice in the space where you need it to be. Mm-hmm. So again, thank you for saying that, because it's physical, it's practical, and it's powerful.
I'm sorry that I have another meeting from 1 o'clock, so I have to go, but really grateful that Sally, you sent me the email, and thank you, and nice to meet you, Nikki, too. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure, and I'm sure Sally will send you the link to the
I have to watch it again just more.
And if you want to do the deep work, I've got a 7-week course starting next Friday. So, have a chat with me. If you want to do the deep work, it's going to be great.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Kyoko.
Nikki, or whoever we've got on the other line, are there any questions?
Yeah. So Judith, this is Bob Zulier. Hello. Thank you so much. My wife Sarah's on also. We're in the car, so sorry for not being able to be on the video, but this has been great. And thank you. And one question is, so if you feel like your voice is tired, what are the things we can do, sort of, what are the recovery things to do if your voice feels that way at the moment?
Brilliant. Great question. So hot water with ginger and honey, always brilliant. If you have got a slightly tired voice and you'll need to be speaking, have a mug of warm water next to you, not cold water and not boiling hot. So nice warm water is really good if you've got a tired voice but you have to be speaking. And the humming is the best thing. I mean, resting your voice is the best thing. But humming, particularly in a shower, so it's a great thing for you to get the moisture going around your vocal cords. Normally, if your voice is tired, they're a bit dried out or maybe a bit swollen. So,
yeah.
And if you feel like you're losing your voice, so when we lose our voice and we're like a little bit like this, don't whisper. Yeah. Whispering is the worst thing you can do for your voice.
Oh.
Because it's harsh.
Why?
Because it's harsh, so it puts dry air. So when we're whispering, it's like this, and we're creating the recycled dry air, and it's really bad for your vocal cords. So if you are losing your voice, the best thing to do is to speak as quiet as fully, but just quietly, and just force people to listen to you. And if that's the case, if you're having to talk, then really make sure you're articulating really clearly and hitting all your consonants and opening your mouth that little bit wider, which means people will hear the vowels. So,
wow.
Some practical tips for you there.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure. Wow. Thank you. Thank you both for being here.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Excellent.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Sarah. That's great. That's a good question. Yeah. Thank you for that. And thanks for that info.
My pleasure. So, Nikki, Sarah, anything else from anyone? Sally?
Well, for me, this is all new. Just wonderful, exciting stuff. And I see, from my perspective, I see the connection of imagination and strength and clarity. So thank you for that reminder.
My absolute pleasure.
It reminds me, so years ago, I studied under Carol Gilligan, who wrote a book called In a Different Voice, which is about women's voices in general, and not specifically about the tone of your voice, but just finding your voice. And this just brings me back to that, because, I think you can kind of tell when somebody finds their voice, it becomes different. And so, yes, it really does. It has a presence that is unmistakable. And that's a beautiful thing to see in anybody. So just thank you for highlighting that, because it's a beacon for people. And the more we can do it, the better, because I think we all need to show up right now. So, really awesome. Thank you.
And when we're going in, particularly if we're working in areas which other people might poo-poo a little bit, right? Holistic or different thinking or coming from a different angle, it's so much more important to be in that resonance of, well, this is what this is my truth, and I am perfectly happy with you not agreeing with me. That's okay.
Right.
In fact, there's something there's a big thing with whenever we're speaking, it's very often the temptation is we want everyone in the room to agree with us, right? Because we don't want one person. If one person looks like they're bored, or one person looks like they're not interested or busy, or thinks that they look like they think we're talking a load of rubbish, then we go into the fear. But actually, the thing I ask everyone to remember is, I ask you this question: do you like, respect, and believe the same things as everyone you've ever met, even people who work in the same area as you? The answer is going to be no. So then why the hell should everyone like you?
And
if we can,
you're not sticking your head up above the sand, right? So
yeah. So
good point.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judith.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally.
Hey, my pleasure. I'm so glad you guys could join us.
Yeah. Thank you for having the dial-in option. It's huge.
Good, good. I'll
Appreciate
remember
it.
that.
Yeah. Oh, it's really big. Yeah. My life is far too constrained by video right now. So this is great. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Good, good.
So I think that's us, if there's no more questions. So Sally, I want to thank you so much for having me here. I want to thank you guys for those of you who are here live for giving up your time live, and those of you who are watching this on the recording. I haven't forgotten you. Thank you for giving up an hour of your life too. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to connect on connect@YourWholeVoice.com. But thank you, Sally.
You're welcome. Listen, Judith, do you have 2 more seconds? Because if I'm not mistaken, I'm seeing your beautiful cards.
Ah,
You?
yes.
Do you mind? These things are gorgeous. I remember when you were creating those and what you have put, your heart that you have put into those. Would you mind just kind of pull one for this class that we've just had? And
I will. So these are my cards. They're the Sound Your Voice Healing Inspiration deck. And they're an oracle deck that I created. I didn't do the artwork. I'd like to let you know, but I did download the work, and I found the artist who has come to my meditation circle for years. So she knows my work. So I'm just going to shuffle them. And it's a 33 card deck, and it's a 1-pull deck just to give you inspiration and something to do with your voice. So I like to go with shuffling until one jumps out, which sometimes takes, oh, there it comes. Okay. Oh, and it is, oh, bear with me because it's fallen on the floor, but it fell face up. I can find it. It is here. And it is tidal breathing. So this is find your flow. And there we go. I think you can actually see the artwork. If I put it at an angle, it's a bit easier to see the artwork there.
yeah, but I can barely hear you when you're talking. You're that close. So yeah, tidal breathing. Okay. It's beautiful.
So tidal breathing is the card that I've pulled, and that's allowing you to get back into your flow. So the tidal breathing is, and each card has an exercise. There's a booklet that talks you through the exercise, and each card has an exercise that go with it. So the exercise for this one is breathing, but with a sound. So either a hiss or a shh. So it really allows you into the flow. But you're right, my artist is amazing. These are some of the cards. So that one is sing your own song. This one is laughter. It's one of my favorite cards. I have challenging ones too. I'll just find one of them for you. So, oh, I love this one, celebrate. The sound for that is yeah, yippee. Right, so each card has a different sound. But here we go. Here's one of my challenging ones, which is allow the growl. So sometimes we need to acknowledge, and this is a big part of my work, recognize the stuff that's holding you back. And if you're feeling frustrated, then allow yourself to bare your teeth and growl, right? Because in that way, we're acknowledging the frustration, we're giving it a voice, rather than trying to, oh no, I'm a holistic person, everything has to be lovely and peaceful, and I have to be logical. And no, sometimes we need to allow the challenging stuff too. So there's a couple of cards like that in here. Beautiful. And then we have the other end of we have celestial support, where you just sound with the angels and make up those lovely high sounds. So yes.
Thank you for sharing that for us. So we're going to love it.
Come into your flow.
Yes. Thank you so much, Judith. I know everyone who hears the replay, everybody who is on the call with us today is really fortunate to have taken the time to be here and to listen to your wisdom. You've had some awesome tips for us and really supportive. So reach out to Judith at connect at YourWholeVoice.com.
Yeah.
With questions.
And with any questions, and I'll send you the links, Sally, so that you can email them to everybody for the course and the cards if you want them.
I'd love that. I'd love that. Thank you so much. Let's
My absolute
all
pleasure.
give a big yeehaw to Judith. Thanks again.
Thank
Goodbye,
you.
all.
Take
Stay well,
care,
Diana.
everybody. Bye.